What's up, everybody? This is Danny Skulls from Mindset Manifestation Mastery, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel where I provide a lot of free training on how you can brand yourself for success, teaching you organic marketing, sales, and all things e-commerce. I'm a sales mentor and a coach with over 20 years of experience in growing business owners to a 5 to 6 figure income from home using my training tips that I'm sharing with all of you. Feel free, guys, to join my Facebook group. The link will be in the description, so you can join my community of like-minded entrepreneurs that are looking to grow to a 5 to 6 figure income from home. And don't forget to also sign up for my free course on how you can look to learn how to make money from home by clicking the links in the description below. Last thing, guys, if you like these trainings, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that way you'll get notified every time I drop a new video. So without further ado, guys, let's get into today's training. Here we are again with another training in the .com secret series. If you are struggling with getting traffic to your website or converting that traffic when it shows up, you may think that you have a traffic or conversion problem. In Russel Brunson's experience working with thousands of businesses, he has found that that is rarely the case. Low traffic and weak conversion numbers stems from a much greater problem, one that is harder to see, that's the bad news, but a lot easier to fix, and that's the good news. .com secrets will give you the marketing tips, funnels, and sales scripts that you need to be able to turn on a flood of new leads into your business. So let's break it down secret by secret. We're going to talk about secret number 6, the attractive character, the elements, the identity, and the storylines. Business owners often get behind this idea that they should be averaging $1 per month for every person on their list. So they focus on growing their list, yet they feel stuck and often frustrated when they don't see results. Can any of you relate to this at all? The missing link is the concept of the attractive character. It's about the persona you are sharing with your audience and how you communicate and nurture your list. Most people either don't bother to create this character or they don't do it correctly. This is one of the most important steps that you can take when it comes to making sales. Once you intentionally create your attractive character, your business will change forever. An attractive character is not someone who's extraordinarily good looking, although they might be. It's a persona that attracts clients or customers and helps you build your following to eventually make sales. Focus on building out your own attractive character profile. An attractive character allows you to build a platform anywhere you want, whether on email, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The key is to draw your prospects to you like they are a magnet. We're going to get into the 4 elements of the attractive character, but first, think about any business, online or offline. Most successful ones have an attractive character front and center. Take Subway, for example. Many years ago, Subway used to be just another fast food restaurant like McDonald's or Burger King and all the rest. Somewhere along the line, the company found this guy named Jared. He was a big guy who weighed over 400 pounds. However, he started eating nothing but Subway twice a day. And over the course of a couple of years, he lost a ton of weight. Subway then shared Jared's story with the world. They put him in their commercials, on their billboards, on their soda cups, everywhere. By making Jared their attractive character, Subway transformed its business from an average fast food restaurant to a weight loss plan. This is one of the big secrets behind the most successful online businesses in the most competitive markets. All these types of businesses use an attractive character. There are 3 components to creating an attractive character, which you saw in the graphic before: elements, identity, and storylines. And you need each of these components to round out a character that people will like and follow. You need to focus on building out your own attractive character profile. We're going to go through that process in detail right now, first by breaking down the 4 elements of the attractive character. Number one is your backstory. You share your backstory because you want people to see where you came from. If they can relate to where you came from, then they will want to follow you where you are now. If they don't see the backstory, potential customers won't follow you and won't listen to you. You'll seem untouchable. You won't seem real to them. However, if they see that you were once in a similar situation, then they instantly identify with you and will follow you. Your story has provided a hook. You can then lay out the path and they will want to follow that path. Number two, attractive characters speak in parables. Parables are little stories, easy to remember, that illustrate a relevant point. If you've been following Russel for a while, you know that he tells a lot of stories in parables. A parable is a story about something that happened in your attractive character's life. Most people let life pass them by, and they don't stop to take note of the interesting things that happen to them. But you're different. You have the ability to use the things that happen throughout your life to teach and inspire others, as well as sell them products. Look through your life, and I promise that you'll start finding these little parables that can help illustrate important points. You can also draw parables from the lives of others. Just know that when you stop teaching facts and start teaching through parables, your messages will stay with an audience much longer. Number three, attractive characters share their character flaws. This next element is one that most people really struggle with sharing, but it's one of the most important ones to share because it makes you relatable. You need to understand that every believable, attractive character has flaws. Even Superman had flaws, right? No one wants to hear about the perfect person because you can't relate. Yet most of us try to put on this perfect facade for our audiences, thereby alienating the real men and women that we're trying to reach. Conversely, as soon as the audience knows that you're not perfect, that you have character flaws, then they will start to empathize with you. They'll like you more because you are like them, not perfect. Number four, attractive characters harness the power of polarity. Another challenge that people face when communicating with an audience is trying not to offend anyone. So instead of being a relatable person, speakers become bland and stay neutral on many topics, only sharing safe things everyone will love. Here's the problem though. While that sounds like the logical thing to do, appeasing everyone, the problem is that being neutral is boring. When an attractive character tries to win the votes of everyone, they end up reaching no one. Instead, attractive characters are typically very polarizing. They share their opinions on hard matters and they stick to their guns, no matter how many people disagree with them. They draw a line in the sand, and when they take a stand for what they believe in, they split the audience into three camps: those who agree with them, those who are neutral, and those who will disagree with them. As you start to create that polarization, it will change your fair weather fans into diehard fans who will follow what you say, share your message, and buy from you over and over again. So let's break down the identity of an attractive character. Your attractive character will typically take on one of the following types of identities. You get to pick which one you want to be. And once we go over the choices, the right one will probably jump out at you. When you get your identity together, it's going to shape how you communicate and interact with your audience. The leader, for example. The identity of the leader is usually assumed by people whose goal is to lead their audiences from one place to another. Most leaders have a similar backstory to that of their audiences and therefore know the hurdles and pitfalls the audience members will likely face on the journey to get ultimate results. Usually the desired result has already been achieved by the leader, and his audience has come looking for help along the same path. I am sure that there are leaders you follow in different aspects of your life, and this may be the role that they will be the most comfortable for you when communicating with your audience. Number two, the adventurer or crusader. The adventurer is usually someone who is very curious, but he doesn't always have all of the answers. So he sets out on a journey to discover the ultimate truth. He brings back treasures from his journey and shares them with his audience. This identity is very similar to the leader, but instead of leading his audience on a journey to find the result, he is more likely to bring back the answers to give them. The reporter or evangelist. This identity is often one that people use when they have not yet blazed a trail to share with an audience, but have a desire to. So they put on the hat of the reporter or evangelist and go out to discover the truth. Typically, people who use this identity interview dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people and share those interviews and all they've learned along the way with their audience. And then we have the reluctant hero. This is the humble hero who doesn't really want the spotlight or any fuss made over his discoveries, but he knows the information or the secrets he has are so important that he must overcome his shyness and share them with the world. There's a moral duty that compels him to share all that he knows. Many of you may feel this way naturally. The spotlight can sometimes be uncomfortable, but you know you need to be there. If that's you, the reluctant hero is the perfect identity for you. So go ahead and play that part. So there is the leader, adventurer, reporter, or reluctant hero. You probably identify strongly with one of these 4 character traits. Determine which type is a good fit and build out your attractive character using the traits for that identity. If you're an adventurer, tell stories of adventure. If you're a leader, tell stories about where you've been and where you're going. If you've chosen the right identity for you, it should be fairly easy to take on that role. If you're struggling to create your attractive character, perhaps you should take another look at your identity. So let's break down some attractive character storylines. Stories are a great way to communicate with your audience, and there's 6 basic storylines that businesses use over and over again through emails, sales letters, landing pages, and other forms of communication. We use them because they work. Each one is crafted for a specific purpose. And once you learn how to utilize these storylines, you will see for yourself how powerful they are and want to use them over and over in different ways. So let's go over the basic plot structure of each one. First, we have loss and redemption. Loss and redemption stories are very powerful because they show the upside of going through hardship or meeting challenges. If you have your own loss and redemption story, great. If not, you can always borrow one from one of your followers or even from the mainstream media or a movie that you like. Then we have us versus them. You want to use us versus them stories to polarize your audience. Remember the power of polarity? Using these types of stories will draw your raving fans even closer and give them a rallying cry against the outsiders. Russell often calls out the talkers versus the doers on his list. I want people to make a choice about who they are, because if they're with me, then they will be doers, continuing to ascend with me. Then there's before and after. These are stories of transformation, and they work great in any market. For example, in the weight loss market, something I'm very familiar with, they can say first, I was fat, then I tried program X, and now I'm fit. These stories are pretty self-explanatory and simple to write. In fact, you can often tell the whole story with just pictures, but don't let the simplicity fool you. These stories are powerful motivators, driving factors, and you should use them as often as possible. Then we have amazing discovery. For example, oh my gosh, you guys, wait till you hear about this amazing new thing that I just discovered. You're not going to believe it. But I hit it out of the park on my first try. I wasn't sure if it would work, but it's amazing and you've got to try it. So these kinds of stories are huge for selling webinars because they help people believe that the answer that they have been searching for is finally available to them. Then we have secret or storytelling. So I've got a secret. If you want to find out what it is, you need to do blank. So if you look at Russell's model with the secret books, that's exactly what he's doing. They're all built around secret storylines, and the lore of these secrets draws the reader into your funnel and, of course, up the value ladder. And then third-party testimonial. Sharing other people's successes with your products and programs provides powerful social proof. Get as many third-party testimonials from your customers and clients and students as you can. Then sprinkle them liberally throughout your stories or use them as standalone stories and, of course, case studies. So let's recap for Secret 6, the attractive character. We went over the elements, the identity, and of course, storylines. It's time to get started creating your attractive character. And by create, I don't mean make it up. I mean to zero in on the story and personality behind it. Of course, make sure it's real and make sure it resonates with your audience. Start assembling your identity, your stories, your flaws, and your line in the sand. Most entrepreneurs never think about this vital communication tool. And even if they do, they don't put in the time and effort to do a good job creating a believable persona. Creating your attractive character can mean the difference between making $1,000 a month and making $100,000 a month.